the visceral fat, it's the belly fat, it starts to accumulate in the body, usually as a result of some kind of trigger. For women, it can often be some kind of trigger that changes our hormones, like pregnancy or menopause. For men, usually the trigger is related to some kind of stress event. It could be a relationship change, a divorce, a marriage, a job change, something that impacts your adrenals, your cortisol levels. And what happens is after this trigger happens, you can continue to eat the same way you did of the past, but now it results in weight gain. And over time, that weight gain starts to accumulate in the belly. It's not the type of fat that you can pinch or melt or cool sculpt off. It's the type of fat that fills up the organs and it wraps around the organs. Over time, it grows its own blood vessels and it starts to secrete and get its own oxygen supply. So it's like a tumor in there, and all it wants to do is continue to grow. So what you need to understand about visceral fat is that it secretes hormones in there and it has one objective, and that objective is to get fatter as fast as possible.
Welcome to the Dr. Ashley Show.
Welcome to the Dr. Ashley Show. I'm Dr. Ashley, and today we're going to talk about why you're always tired, why you lack the energy that you so desire. Today I'm going to highlight the steps and the foods known to increase vitality, to help you get your energy back, or if you've got your energy, I'm going to help you keep it. It's one of the top reasons why people come into PhD. They complain about low energy, feeling so tired, not being able to get off the couch, and asking me what are the reasons as to why I feel like this and what can I do about it. I want to start by sharing with you some stories, some client experiences of those who come into PhD for this reason of increasing their energy levels. And if you want to read more of our client experiences, we have over 1,100 of them listed on our website, which is myphdweightloss.com. But I skimmed all of the experiences that are listed there for the topic of good energy and listen to these amazing stories. So one says, I'm not done with the program. I'm about 3 weeks in, but I've lost 11 pounds. I don't feel as tired anymore and don't need any caffeine. After 3 weeks, it's amazing. What I'm eating feels clean and non-bloating. These guys are the real deal, and Dr. Ashley knows what she's talking about. 10 out of 10 stars. Another one. I'm on my 5th week. The plan is doable and I'm actually getting used to my new routine. I'm rarely hungry and do find myself not only more energetic, but more positive and generally happier. These are all the reasons why I entered into the program. What I didn't really expect was the support I have been receiving every week. My energy is higher, my mood better, and I feel much more knowledgeable about what to eat and avoid. For anyone who's skeptical like I was, this is the real deal. And is there a better investment than yourself? Here's another one. PhD weight loss helped to change my mindset about food, motivating me to permanently change to a healthy eating style. During the weight loss phase, I didn't feel hungry. The coaching and the tips were excellent and helped me resist temptation. I'm not only at my goal weight, but I feel great. Aches, pains, sleep, and digestion issues have disappeared. My energy level has increased exponentially. Another one. So far, this has been nothing short of miraculous. I was skeptical at first, but I started the program. PhD makes it simple, and the weight loss so far has been really easy. I'm over halfway to hitting my goal and should be there by January. I wish I had done this sooner. My blood pressure is back to normal. My joints don't hurt, and I have a lot more energy. And another one. I've tried most diet plans out there, and the problem was always the same, keeping the weight off. I decided I had reached my breaking point with how tired and sluggish I felt and needed to try something different, and boy, am I glad I did. I'm in the maintenance phase now and down almost 40 pounds. My clothes fit better. I feel better. I have way more energy. So I can't recommend PhD enough. Great people, a personalized plan, and proven lasting results. More. I'm going into my 3rd week. I'm down pounds, yes, but better. I'm feeling, functioning, walking, everything with restored energy. Clothes fit better and my eating are better, but my health and spirits are elevated. And another one. This was a long one, but I'm just reading one sentence. We have more energy and feel the best we have in many years. This is not a fad diet, it's a lifestyle change. And another one, a long review. And at the end, he says, I'm almost 5 months into the 9-month program and I've hit my goals each month. I'm down 45 pounds. I have the energy to walk and live my life. And another one. I absolutely love PhD. My life has been changed forever due to the determination that I have had and the great coaching provided every week. I've lost almost 90 pounds and I have so much more energy than ever before. And another one. I have lost over 30 pounds and maintained it for over a year now. Getting my body back has been a major contributor to getting my energy back. And two more. My energy levels returned quickly and I'm so happy to have my shape back. And then another one, so far this program has worked very well for me. I have celiac disease, so it is difficult finding a program that can tailor it to my food restrictions and sensitivities. But with their help, I was pleasantly surprised to find my body restored and having more energy. Our top goals at PhD specifically are to reduce inflammation and increase energy. That's what I think life is about. It's about having the energy to live the best life possible. Weight loss is simply a byproduct of reducing that inflammation and increasing those energy levels. And that's what you can see with these client experiences. So yes, what I want you to gather from this and why I share these stories with you is so that you understand there is hope. There is power within you to create this sustainable, positive change, to experience less tiredness and more energy. You know, there are many factors why your energy tanks, and today I want to talk about some of the most common ones. Hey guys, quick interruption to the show to remind you about GlucoCut Plus, my latest supplement designed specifically for weight loss and maintenance. You know, weight loss can stress your body, it affects your thyroid, muscle mass, and metabolism. GlucoCut Plus is packed with patented ingredients to regulate your blood sugar for longer lasting energy, enhance fat burning, and support lean muscle and your thyroid health. We only use top quality ingredients and it's super effective. It's like this all-in-one for metabolic support. Visit drashleywellness.com, use code Ashley10 for 10% off your first purchase or receive 20% off your first subscription order with free shipping. Plus, enjoy a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, back to the show. And those include your body composition. They include, of course, your diet, your sleep quality, and your morning routine really can set you up for the entire day so that you have better energy throughout it. And the great news is that the process is painless. It can be painless and you can get that energy back. You just have to have the right support, really. So today I hope to provide you with that support and the hope within yourself that you can create these positive changes. So number one, your body composition can impact your energy level. And a lot of people understand this, but they don't really realize what's happening metabolically, and I want to explain that to you today. I've talked a lot about visceral fat, that belly fat, in previous episodes, but in case you haven't tuned in to any of those episodes, which I do hope you do in the future, I want to talk about it. So the visceral fat, it's the belly fat, it starts to accumulate in the body, usually as a result of some kind of trigger. For women, it can often be some kind of trigger that changes our hormones, like pregnancy or menopause. For men, usually the trigger is related to some kind of stress event. It could be a relationship change, a divorce, a marriage, a job change, something that impacts your adrenals, your cortisol levels. And what happens is after this trigger happens, you can continue to eat the same way you did of the past, but now it results in weight gain. And over time, that weight gain starts to accumulate in the belly. It's not the type of fat that you can pinch or melt or cool sculpt off. It's the type of fat that fills up the organs and it wraps around the organs. Over time, it grows its own blood vessels and it starts to secrete and get its own oxygen supply. So it's like a tumor in there, and all it wants to do is continue to grow. So what you need to understand about visceral fat is that it secretes hormones in there and it has one objective, and that objective is to get fatter as fast as possible. The hormones that it secretes in your body cause inflammation. The main one is interleukin-6, and it's linked to a whole host of negative health consequences like cancer and type 2 diabetes and heart disease and autoimmune conditions. It's like kryptonite, and you do not want it in there. It also secretes hormones that make you hungry, that make you crave food, that increase the likelihood of you becoming addicted to certain foods, and it makes you lazy. If you think about the goal of this belly fat is just to continue to grow, it has demands and desires and urges and cravings. If you think about that thing inside of you, the last thing it wants you to do is go get up off the couch and go for a walk and expend a ton of calories. That doesn't hit its goal or its objective. So if you've got a lot of belly fat in your body, I just want you to understand that it's tough and that your body is in a fat storage mode and it makes your body lazy. So I talk to a lot of clients who come in who tell me that when they didn't have this belly fat, they were active, they wanted to move, they got up and they hiked and they just really enjoyed life because they had energy. You can hear from these client experiences, people feel like they're getting their lives back or that they came in because they hit rock bottom with such poor energy levels and that it came back quickly. One of the main reasons is because they had this deep belly fat that was working against them. So not only now metabolically and hormonally are you tired, but now you've also got all of this pressure and force that's pushing on the joints, all of this weight that you've got to move and carry around. For every single pound of excess fat weight that you're carrying on your frame, it's 8 pounds of force pushing through your foot and ankle. For every pound that you're carrying, it's about 5 pounds to 6 pounds of force pushing through your knee. For every pound that you're carrying in your midsection, it's about 4 to 5 pounds pushing down on your hips. And for every pound that you're carrying in your belly or on your throat or in your head, it's 5 pounds of force pulling off the spine or pushing on those organs when you're laying down, which is why you're at increased risk of sleep apnea. I'm sharing this with you so that you understand if you're carrying this belly fat, it is heavy. It just pulls on your energy system, and then metabolically and hormonally, it's driving you to just be a couch potato. I remember talking to a client, John, and he was living in Durango at the time, and I was as well. And, Durango is just this place where it's beautiful and there's so much hiking and riding. And he moved there after he got a divorce and retired because he wanted to enjoy his life and go for these really long, amazing hikes. And he couldn't because he had all of this excess fat weight holding him back in all these different ways. And he would take naps during the day. I have so many clients who take naps during the day when they come in to PhD, and that totally changes. And so for this fellow, he dropped 90 pounds and he's like, I think I actually have ADHD now. He's like, I can't sit on the couch. I have so much energy. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, that's your natural state. It's not ADHD. You're just not accustomed to having this natural state of energy that we've been given. It was just clouded with darkness because of this excess fat weight that was holding him back, right? So if you take naps in the afternoon, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. We'll talk about the best way to nap, but I'm just saying that a lot of us actually don't need that. It's because of the way that our body is functioning that's pushing us to do that just to be able to survive the rest of the day. So that's how your body composition can impact your energy levels. Diet, of course, can impact it. In these client experiences here of people who get their energy back in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks, we know they haven't dropped or lost all of this visceral fat yet. So what's going on? Well, what's going on is we've created a metabolic shift in their body where they're actually able to use the energy that they're consuming. One thing I didn't mention about this belly fat is I want you to think that it partitions your calories that you consume to come in to feed it to get bigger. Let's just say, for simplicity's sake, you consume that oatmeal with blueberries. It's going to fill in and pile in and feed the fat first. It's going to help to drive you to become fatter rather than it going into the muscle cells so that you can use it for energy. So your diet can influence, in a way, where that energy goes. Is it going to go in to feed the fat first, or is it going to go into your muscle cells to give you the energy to move throughout the day? So you can create these small shifts in your diet to allow your energy to come back pretty quickly. And the ticket is to focus on those foods that aren't going to spike your blood glucose too high or too consistently, and therefore, as a result, spike insulin. And insulin is an inflammatory fat storage hormone. If you're really interested in this, go check out my previous episode where I talk about the glycemic index and talk about each food and give you very clear tips. This is just a summary that you want to eat a diet that is lower in carbohydrates. Not saying that you have to follow an Atkins or keto or carnivore diet if you don't want to. Also not saying those are bad. But it's understanding that the food that you fuel your body with impacts your energy level. So avoiding sugary foods. These include fruit juices, crackers and breads and grains. This includes regular cow's milk, Oat milk, you guys, is not a health food. I was in two coffee shops over the last week, and so many people are ordering oat milk lattes, and I had to do my very best to just sit down and take some deep breaths and not tell them that was the worst choice that they could make. If you, listening to this though, are consuming oat milk lattes, you can just let those go. And instead, get some steamed heavy cream in your coffee, and it is so delicious and so creamy, and it's not going to spike your glucose to elevated levels where it's not in the, say, healthy or ideal range like an oat milk latte would. Instead, you're going to focus on a protein-forward diet. That means getting your proteins, if you're open to it. The best form of protein for our bodies comes from animals. So that would be red meat or poultry or fish, organ meats if you're open to those. If you like them, give you a lot of great nutrients, eggs, full fat, dairy. If you tolerate dairy, that is going to help you if you focus on those foods first to be protein forward. And that's going to allow your glycemic load, your blood glucose to stay pretty even and fuel the parts of your body that you want to fuel. About 30 to 45 grams of protein in each meal is a good goal depending on your gender and body size. And then thinking about the order in which you're eating. If you're going to eat your veggies, focus on those first, and then your proteins and fats. And then if you really want to starch a fruit or a grain because of pleasure, that's a pleasure decision, then you eat those last. And that will help your blood glucose stay regulated too. But again, check out that episode on the glycemic index because I go into great detail there. And then another thing that can impact your energy level is sleep. I know that makes sense. Sleep consolidates your memories, it repairs tissues, it stocks and restores the body, it clears toxins, it replenishes your brain chemicals. It is the key to living well and aging well. Chronic sleep deprivation is considered anything less than 6 hours a night, and it's shown to shorten our lifespan. It increases cardiovascular disease. There was a study that looked at individuals who slept less than 6 hours a night, and they had a 20 to 30% increased chance of developing high blood pressure than those who got 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It increases risk of dementia, Alzheimer's, cancers, mental health. It disrupts our hormones, and it impacts weight loss. There was a study that looked at two groups of individuals who had a goal of dropping weight. And one group slept less than 7 hours, and another group slept more than 7 hours. The group who slept less than 7 hours ate less and weighed more, which means that the people who slept more could eat more and maintain a leaner weight. There will be clients coming into PhD and they're following the plan precisely. Everything is right on track, but their sleep is off, and we see their weight loss stall. Once we get their sleep back into rhythm and they're sleeping more than 7 hours a night, their weight loss starts to pick up again, and we'll see most women drop 2.5 pounds a week on average. Most men about 3.5, sometimes 4 to 5 pounds a week. So sleep is really important. Sometimes sleep can be more important than exercise. We'll have clients, short sleep less than 7 hours to get up and fit their workout in, when really it's more important for them to actually get that extra 1 hour of sleep and skip the workout. So I want you to consider that. Here are some tips to help you if you are challenged with sleep, because I know for a lot of people it can be a difficult process. So number one is go to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time each evening and morning. There is some research showing that you going to sleep and waking up at a consistent time is even more important than the number of hours you sleep. So something to consider there. I always look at us like how we would treat a baby. If you had a baby, you would have usually a similar routine each night so they know that they're getting ready for bed. Maybe you give them a bath or they take a shower. You calm down. You have a wind down routine. You might read to them, might sing them a song. You tuck them in the same way. And you have this routine and their body adapts to that routine, and it's going to help them go to sleep easier and self-soothe. The same thing goes with us. We need to have our own wind down routine, which means that we need to pull away from screens at least 1 hour before we go to bed. And then we need to go to bed at that same time and wake up at the same time each morning. Stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed. It's not that the calories are magically going to do something different if you stop eating 3 hours before bed. But what it does do is if you eat close to your sleep time, then it disrupts the quality of sleep that you get. Digesting is actually a process the body has to work, and so it raises your core body temperature. When your core body temperature raises, you're not going to get as much deep sleep, and it significantly impacts your sleep quality. Let's see. There's this magic window for sleep that research shows is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's where your melatonin and your human growth hormone reach its peaks. And so if you go to bed after 2 a.m., you could be missing that peak spot and missing that really nice, deep quality sleep that you could be getting. You could take a hot shower before bed that actually has your body work to cool down your body, and it cools your core temperature, can help with sleep and melatonin production. Make sure that your bedroom is cold and dark. We've got black light curtains because the moon shines through so brightly, and it has really helped to improve our sleep. So make sure that it's dark, kind of like a dark cave. It's quiet. I might get some pushback here, but I would encourage your pets not to be in your room because they're moving around, they're loud, they're going to disrupt your sleep. So really think of it as this quiet, cool, dark cave. The ideal temperature for your bedroom is about 65 degrees. For me, I get really cold easily. My husband is sweating while I'm like shaking, shivering with cold. And so what we found helps is for him, he has this Uller, it's called. And you can get it for your entire bed, but since I'm more cold just generally, we have it just for his half side of the bed. And what it does is you lay it down on your mattress and it pumps cool water through it and keeps the bed regulated at a pretty whatever temperature you want it to be. But his is set, I think, at like 55 or 60 degrees or something, and he's still sweating over there. So, and for me, I've got like multiple blankets. We are all unique and individuals, but if you're more like my husband, then you could check out the Uller. Stop drinking caffeine about 12 hours before you go to bed. We have different unique rates in which we metabolize caffeine. Some people, it sticks in the body for a long period of time, and some people, man, it just wipes out and moves through very quickly. For most people, 50% of the caffeine is still remaining 6 hours after you've had your drink, your coffee beverage. And then there's still 25% of the caffeine remaining 12 hours after you've had that cup of coffee. So if you are drinking coffee late into the afternoon, you better bet you still have significant amount of caffeine coursing through the body, which can inhibit your sleep quality and quantity. Avoiding alcohol at least 3 hours before you go to bed, the longer the better. And the reason why is because alcohol causes fragmented sleep. This means that you're not going to get as much REM sleep, and REM sleep is important for dreaming. It's important for memory consolidation and overall brain health. Also, alcohol increases that core body temperature, and that significantly reduces the quality of sleep that you've got. Avoiding late and long naps. So if you are going to nap, that's fine, but you're going to want to make sure you do it before 2 p.m. and trying to keep it around 30 minutes or so. Minimizing exposure to blue lights after sunset. We have all of these fake lights streaming into our eyes, messing with our circadian rhythm. And we found that it significantly impacts the quality of our sleep. So a few things you can do is 1, don't look at the screens close to bed, which we should be doing anyway. Another thing is to consider the type of light bulbs that you have in your house, or at least the ones you use after sunset. We've altered the lights in our house so that they're not blue lights. When it's the evening time, it's more of a warm tone and doesn't disrupt the circadian rhythm as significantly. And then we use blue light blocking glasses. So I have this cool of really sexy glasses that are orange. Raw Optics is the brand that I really like that just blocks the blue lights coming in. And man, I can notice a really big difference with that. And then just removing all electronics from your bedroom. Remember, it's this deep, dark sleep cave, just you and your partner, your spouse, whomever are in there, but we're all quiet and focused on connection and getting that good sleep. So the last thing that can impact your energy levels throughout the day is that morning routine. And I've done an entire episode on the topic of morning routine. And I'm just going to summarize here, but it definitely deserves the entire episode that I did. So please check that out. Your morning routine does set your day up for success, and it starts with the evening before. So the evening before, what I urge you to do is look at your schedule for the next day. And then on a piece of paper, write down your schedule for the day that might include tackling some of the aspects in your brain dump. So for me, every evening before I actually close out for the day, so like around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I write down what I'm going to do the next day, hour by hour, and it's very specific, like 6:15, wake up and meditate. After you've scheduled all of your stuff for the next day, then you follow those steps that I just explained out on what can help your overall sleep quality. And then the next morning you wake up and you have your morning routine. So some tips for that morning routine is to wake up early. We're finding that one of the most important things that we can do is wake up with the sun and see the sun, that early morning sun. We know that the sun rays are different quality with the early morning sun versus like the afternoon evening sun. So when the sun first comes up, they're actually more infrared. And then as the sun progresses throughout the day, they change to UV rays. And so that infrared light that we get from the early morning sun is key. So wake up with the sun, get outside and look at that. I mean, don't like ruin your eyes by looking at the sun, but see the sun and feel those rays on your body. Number 2 is maybe some kind of breath work, meditation, some kind of prayer, calming yourself down, calming down your adrenal system, reducing that cortisol so it doesn't just spike right up there to some unhealthy levels right at the beginning of the day. Limit your screen time. So I always tell myself I'm not allowed to look at my phone, look at my emails or my texts or social media for at least 1 hour. And I try to hit 2 hours in there because it's just no matter what, it's going to either surge dopamine or cortisol, and you want to remain as calm and give your adrenals some kind of break there. Number 4 is that the first thing you consume, the first thing that goes in your mouth is water. It can be lemon water, it could be water with electrolytes, but about 16 ounces, maybe a little bit more water right when you wake up because we do dehydrate throughout the evening. And then moving your body. So if you can get outside, see that first sun, go for a little walk, then it really will benefit the body and just starting to drive that energy up. And then the last thing of your morning routine is to follow the plan that you've set out the evening before. We talked about nutrition for that breakfast meal, focusing on protein forward. And then the key is just to create that sustainable routine. It doesn't have to be a long morning routine, but something that promotes consistency and healthy choices and supports this positive tone for the rest of the day. So in summary, if you are always tired, check on your body composition. If you're dealing with that belly fat, that visceral fat, consider your diet, think about your sleep quality, and then check out that morning routine. Most of all, I want you to know that there is hope. You can make change, and the change can happen in 2-3 weeks. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, please leave a review and follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment below and subscribe. It helps us to reach more people and impact more people in a positive way. Remember, you've got to step up to make the change. Lead with your heart, train your mind, and do not negotiate with your body. I'll see you next time.